I hope this tax strike picks up. I didn't file taxes, do anything for like 7 years before I got one single letter. And I had a lot of money moving through my accounts. There was one year I had over $300,000 that ran through one of my accounts, just one account. I don't know. If you are thinking about withholding and then paying at the end of the year, at least withhold it if you're going to go on the tax strike thingy. If you're thinking about not filing because you're a business, or just not paying your quarterly taxes, whatever. My point is, I know people with like $70,000 in IRS debt, and it's been like 6 years, and they just get letters. The interest builds up, but you can settle with them later, or, we can protest and it all goes away and topples down and different structures come about. I don't know.
I used to work with this guy that doesn't file taxes. He never has, and he never started. I asked him why. He said, if I don't file, they'll never know. And I'm like, didn't you first start filing? He's like, no, I never started. I never started the cycle. I'm like, dude, they're going to catch you. He's like, how are they going to catch me if I don't remind them that I exist? I don't think they're going to catch him, dude. He's been doing this for 25 years.
We got breaking news. Millions of Americans are saying they're not going to file their taxes this year because they don't agree with this administration. And although you won't go to jail for not filing your taxes unless you commit fraud or tax evasion, there are some penalties you're going to have to pay for to Uncle Sam. For starters, you have to understand that legally not everyone has to pay their taxes. If you have any of these filing statuses and you make any of these amounts or lower, then you do not legally have to file taxes. If your parents claim you as a dependent and you make below a certain amount of money, or if you're on Social Security and you make below a certain amount of money, you also don't need to pay taxes. With that said though, if you don't file your taxes, you will have to pay the IRS about 0.5% interest on what you owe per month. After that, there's going to be some liens and levies, and the IRS will start to garnish your wages. If you still decide to not pay your taxes, the IRS will freeze your bank accounts, they will seize your assets in some extreme cases, and essentially they'll put a lot of financial pressure on you. With that said though, the IRS is not going to put you in jail unless you purposefully try to manipulate your income in their eyes, or if you intentionally try to cheat. With that said, if you work with a tax strategist like myself, the chances of you paying a lot of taxes are pretty slim. So comment the word tax refund and I'll add you to my wait list.
I'm Rachel and I'm not paying my federal income tax this year. I filed my taxes last week and I put the amount that I owe the federal government, about $8,800, in a high yield savings account because the government is using my tax dollars to build concentration camps for my neighbors, and so I don't feel like giving them my tax money. I paid my state taxes and I posted about this, and the most common response that I got was, Rachel, there are going to be penalties for that. And I say this with intense love. I am aware. If you've ever come across me before, you know that I am an attorney. And I hope that you know that I think things through before I put them on the internet most of the time. And talking about this publicly absolutely makes those consequences potentially worse, because there is a criminal statute that you can be charged under for not paying your federal income tax. And one of the elements is willfulness, which means that the government has to show that you did it with some degree of intent. So coming onto the internet and saying, I'm not paying my federal income tax and I'm doing it on purpose, gives them that for free, of course also draws attention. And so makes it even more likely that the eye of Sauron will be drawn upon one. But when I was looking into withholding my federal income tax, I had a lot of questions, and I want to document how it goes for posterity, for myself, not for anyone else. And I will say, as I was looking into it, it became very clear that the financial penalties are going to accrue way faster and be worse if I failed to file my taxes, as opposed to if I failed to pay them. The penalty for failing to file my taxes accrues way faster than the penalty for failing to pay them. And so I did file them. And I am aware that talking about it on the internet, and I want everyone to be aware that talking about this stuff on the internet massively increases your risk. It's one of the reasons why when people engage in civil disobedience, they don't talk about it publicly. And then lots of people who are wondering what would happen if they were to do something have no idea. So this is a calculated additional risk that I think is worth it. The failure to pay federal income tax, I took a look at the statute, and most likely the statutory maximum, if convicted, is a year. It's a federal misdemeanor, and they can also assess a $25,000 fine. And I asked myself in a vacuum, I asked myself if in a vacuum, I was confronted with the question of, would I rather give the government $9,000 to put towards building concentration camps or run the risk of being convicted of a federal misdemeanor? I would certainly say I would rather run the risk of being convicted of a federal misdemeanor. And so if I feel that way in a vacuum, I am going to act that way in real life. Because how I think of myself and whether or not I live in accordance with how I think of myself, that matters to me a lot. So anyway, I will be documenting. You can follow along. I will be writing up some of my reasoning more at length on Substack this week. And stay tuned. And thank you for your concern. I really do appreciate it. Just like, y'all, I promise, I know.
Listen, if they really cut off food stamps for November, y'all better go into that HR office and turn your taxes off. We should not be paying taxes if they're not going to help the American people. If my grandma don't get her Social Security, what the fuck make you think I'm gonna pay taxes for? Huh? If my community members who need food stamps can't get it, I'm not paying no taxes, bitch. I'm not paying a motherfucking thing. Cause what you doing with my money? What you doing with my money? Cause you don't know how to use it right. So I'm gonna take it back. Since you don't know how to use it right, I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back.
You cannot legally pay your taxes. That's right. I just said by law, you cannot pay your taxes. You see, because what we've learned is that tax dollars have been spent in a global crime syndicate. And now you know this, and it's provable. Which means if you willingly pay your taxes, you now are a willing participant and co-conspirator. This is what you're going to say when you file an exemption. Owe back taxes, this is what you're going to tell your agent. And of course, they're going to threaten you. And they're going to say, are you saying that you're not going to pay your taxes? Reiterate with this. I said that I will not be a willing participant in a global crime syndicate. And they will repeat it again, and you repeat it again. You play the Congress game. You legally cannot pay your taxes now that you know this. It is against the law.
You know, I was sitting here a few minutes ago, and I got to thinking about taxes. Only got another week before I file my taxes, and I had a discussion with somebody yesterday that just changed my whole outlook about taxes. Fuck filing taxes. I'm not filing shit, and I'm gonna tell you why. All year, you get taxed for food, you get taxed for gas, you get taxed for lights, you get taxed for fucking breathing, you get taxed on water, you get taxed on this, you get taxed on that, and then you file taxes at the end of the year and get taxed on that, and then get taxed on the money that you get back from taxes. How many of you out there, have y'all ever checked y'all 401k yet? For the working class. How many of y'all checked your 401k? Y'all notice it ain't no increase yet? I looked at mine and it should have been, have you noticed it ain't no increase yet? With this war and Trump doing all the dumb shit that he's doing, he's fucking up our money. And then I think about taxes too, I'm like, wait a minute. When the IRS says you owe because you made too much money. How in the fuck you make too much money and you worked all that time to accumulate that money? How in the fuck you owe? This is what I'm saying, the IRS, y'all motherfucking asses are finna go too. I urge each and every one of y'all out there, you ain't got to listen to me. You ain't got to follow me and what I do. I'm not filing another motherfucking round of taxes. Kiss my ass. And then I go tax exempt. Go tax exempt, y'all. You'll get your money. Even though they might get it back at the end of the year, that's fine. But through the year, you know, you only can do tax exempt for what, 6 months? Then it falls off and you can't do it again till another, you know what I'm saying? So go tax exempt. Fuck filing taxes. I mean, okay. Or you can file them. They just get the money back at the end of the year, but you'll get your money. I'm tax exempt right now. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting all mine. Kiss my ass. You can say what you want. And when retirement comes, because I'm retiring within another year. Oh, I'm done. Kiss my ass. I'm not finna do no motherfucking 62, 65, 67, and they talking about raising this shit up to 70. You kiss my ass. What the fuck I'm about? You know what? It ain't about what I'm about to do. Be honest with you. It ain't even about what I'm about to do. It ain't even about what the Most High is giving me to do. Because when that go down, it's gonna go down. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. You know, because sometimes you don't tell your right hand what your left hand is doing. You feel me? So, but I can get y'all to understand something. There's no reason to be scared. There ain't no reason to be scared to go tax exempt. It ain't no reason to be scared. Why are you scared because they say you owe? Because you need to question. This is what we need to question. What do we owe you for? Why in the fuck are you saying we making too much money? We barely get paid for the work that we do anyway. And you owe because you made too much money? You kiss my ass, motherfuckers. You kiss my motherfucking ass. So fuck the IRS. Fuck the government. I'm not filing no more taxes ever. And I'm saying it right motherfucking here. And I don't give two motherfuckers who don't like it. I ain't going no goddamn jail either. Promise you that one. This is where everybody need to stand the fuck up. Stand your ground. Working all goddamn year. All year. You supposed to make the money that shows up on your yearly reports. You supposed to make that money. Or what are they telling me? That we have a line or something that of how much money we supposed to make? That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. We supposed to be here, so when you just go boop, just a tad, you owe? Man, y'all suck my ass, motherfuckers. Fuck you. Fuck your taxes, and I'm still getting mine. Sons of bitches, get yours. Fuck this government, I told you. They gonna fuck you. They still fucking you. They been fucking you. Okay? Here's the part about that. Now, when they fuck you, what happens to them? Nothing. When they take your money, what happens to them? Nothing. When they do all this shit they do to keep your ass at bay, what happens to them? Nothing. But you go rob a bank. Guess what happens to you? So you robbing them, so to speak. Oh, you're not robbing the bank, you're robbing the system. Well, the system is fucking robbing the fucking people. And ain't nothing done to them motherfuckers. You kiss my ass. That's about to change. Long as I got something to do with it, long as I got air in my lungs, motherfucker, the IRS is finna be gone. The government finna be gone. We don't want no more presidents. We don't want no more presidents. Nah, we're done with that. No. We're not doing the president thing no more. Fuck them. I'm telling y'all, come these primary elections and all this shit, this is how it should be as far as I'm concerned too. Y'all ain't got to agree with me. Like I said, you ain't never got to agree with me. But I feel like this here. If we don't like neither one of the candidates who is in the race, we should have that obligation to say, you know what? No. Cancel this race. Start that shit all over. If you don't like who up there, you don't like what they saying, and our vote counts, our voices count, then we should say who the fuck we want in that motherfucker, if we want them or not. If we don't like it, we shouldn't. Because I get sick and tired of hearing people saying, well, if you don't vote, you ain't got no right to say nothing. You a goddamn lie. I got more than enough right to say what the fuck I want to say, whether if I vote or not. Because they keep fucking me, and I don't believe and I don't like who the fuck is fucking us, I'm not voting for shit. Kiss my ass. I'm not voting for a motherfucking thing. Y'all better get in the mode of not caring, because these motherfuckers don't care. Y'all better get in the mode. Fuck them. What they gonna do? What they gonna do? This is what y'all need to understand. They don't outnumber us. They don't. Man, this government is done. Y'all don't understand that. It's done. Right now, it's just like a fucking preschool, middle school, high school type of situation and shit. These motherfuckers acting like kids, man. Trump whining and shit when he don't get his way. So what the first thing he want to do? He want to implement force. Man, we better start implementing force on these motherfuckers. I'm telling you. Don't sit back and continue to be fucked. What is wrong with some of y'all, man? And the last thing I want to touch on before I get ready to get out of here. This is for my brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters. This is for them. So White folks, hang back for a second. We got so many niggas out there that hate black folks. We got so many. So many. I'm starting to see that now. From the comments I get on my page and all this type of shit, you motherfuckers don't fade me. And you better get the fuck out my way when I'm starting to make my move. You're best to get somewhere. Because I'm not finna play. The Most High is not finna play. But you guys better get in the mode of not giving a fuck no more. It ain't that you're gonna be punished. It ain't that you can't get your blessings from the Most High. It ain't that you can't get what you need to get from the Most High. The Most High wants you to be what I'm telling you to be. We can't overcome and we can't end this shit with you motherfuckers still having even the slightest bit of what am I the word I'm looking for? As long as y'all got the slightest bit of let's just say you think that what they got is it. You think what they got is just it. And you don't want to see no change. You don't want to see your little kids running around in the park having fun and laughing and having a good time with each other. You don't want to see barbecues no more. You don't want to see none of this shit no more. You don't want to see nothing. You want to see a dictatorship that's going to tell you how to eat, sleep, and shit. When to do this, where you can go, where you can't go. You kiss my ass. Before I fall in some shit like that, I'll fuck everything up around this motherfucker. I promise you that. I don't tell you who I am, so I'm not finna play. Man, y'all better wake up, or you're gonna be in serious trouble. Stop giving a fuck about these motherfuckers. Live your life, do it the way you want to do it. Straight up, because that's exactly what the fuck I'm doing. I told you, I'm not retiring at no 62 and all that type of shit. I'm retiring within the next year. I'll be 59 years old. I'm done actually working at 60. I'm done. I'm not finna go into my 60s and 70s working for a motherfucker but myself. Y'all kiss my ass. Stop filing taxes. Stop giving these motherfuckers back their shit. Fuck them. And if they come at us, y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Fuck them. Goddamn tax season.
Welcome back to another episode of the things I did not like working for the IRS. So, one of my biggest pet peeves working for the IRS is the fact that I had acquired all this knowledge. I had information that was necessary for the taxpayer to know. But because the IRS believes that it is the taxpayer's responsibility to know the credits they are entitled to, they are supposed to know how to accurately file their tax returns. I am not to just give out this information, right? They will they will tell us to refer them to tax law. And that infuriated me because I had the qualifications to tell them and to tell them how to do this. And if our goal is to make sure taxes are accurately filed, why am I transferring them to another department, right? So I had this information and I had the ability in some cases to look at a tax return, right? Let's say, for instance, someone called and after they filed the tax return, they had a tax liability. So they were called to, make some payment arrangements. So I'm looking through their tax returns and I see that there were credits that they were entitled to, but they didn't claim. I'm not allowed to tell them that. That would infuriate me. Or let's say, okay, after filing their tax returns, they ended up with a tax increase, which resulted in a tax liability. Now, if I were to give them a first-time abatement, that would wipe away most of their tax debt. And if they don't ask me, I can't offer it to them. And that would infuriate me. Because now you tell us that the goal is to make sure that the taxpayer doesn't have to call back over the same issue. And I have within my power and within my right to make these adjustments. But you tell me if they don't ask you, don't offer it to them. I believe that's being disingenuous. So the taxpayer would have to ask me for an abatement. But the problem is not many people know that that's something that they're entitled to. Some people don't even know what an abatement is. So with that, I'm like, man, I would be so pissed off. And I'm just waiting. They want you to wait for them to ask you, but also they want you to control the conversation And also, they want you to keep the calls under 3 minutes. So while I'm sitting here trying to abide by all the guidelines, and they never get around to asking, what can you do for me? And then had they asked that, I would say, I'm glad that you asked. Here's what I can do today. But most people, they don't know that that's something that they can ask for. So that was something that really pissed me off about the IRS. And I would just get off the phone upset. And sometimes when I did actually offer it to them and I process it, right, they thinking they're all good. Only for the manager, because they monitor every call, right? And if they see or if they hear that the taxpayer didn't ask for it and you offered it and you changed it and you processed the return to make the adjustment, they'll reverse it. So now the taxpayer thinking that, that you didn't do the right thing or you didn't do what you said you were going to do. So, that pissed me off. But stay tuned. I'll tell you the next thing I hated about working for the IRS.
So it's people out here that's refusing to pay their taxes. I didn't know that it was so many people out here that's refusing to pay their taxes. How do y'all feel about this movement? I was always taught to pay taxes. And then I'm seeing videos of people saying they haven't filed in 10 years. I didn't know people just didn't care. Some people act like they can't sleep if they owe the IRS. They gonna come grab everything. And then it's like, if you don't pay, they won't get you in the first year. The IRS, they like to wait to get you. So when I seen that there's millions of people out here that's just not paying taxes, I didn't know that so many people just felt strongly about this matter. People like, they don't care. And some people feel like they got their reasons and their views for not paying taxes. See, I pay my taxes. I be thinking they're going to do me like Wesley Snipes one day. If you know, you know. If you know what I'm talking about. I just be so afraid. So let me know how y'all feel about this. Wow, millions of people are saying that. Now I see some people say they go exempt for a certain period of time. That's normal. Some people are going to choose that. And then some people are just not filing. They feel like they fed up. They tired of what's going on. And they just don't want to pay taxes no more. And some people saying they really can't afford to pay taxes. They already getting a low paycheck as is. So why would they want to get their money to taxes? And then taxes ain't even really doing nothing for them, some people would say. They saying taxes ain't really fixing the roads. It's still potholes everywhere. If you're in a state where all the potholes are located, they're not doing what they're supposed to do with the money. And then they're trying to cut everything that people pay taxes for. That's what they say. So I want to know how y'all feel. Because I was always, brought up on pay your taxes. I felt like it was the right thing to do. So now I'm learning that it's really not the right thing to do. I don't know. I don't want to mislead y'all, but this is what I want y'all to think about. I didn't know. I always pay my taxes. That's why. So in this video, this was fascinating. So I want to know what y'all think about this topic. I want to see how y'all feel about it. So leave it in the comments. And then we're going to listen to these comments. And then I'm going to see y'all on the next one.